Hello, welcome to part 25 of the game engine coding live stream. This is part 14 of gestures. So let me minimize this. Definitely gonna read any game engine architecture today. I just want to get on with some coding. So let's close that down. Visual Studio is already open. So we last time got the angle. We implemented this feature get joystick angle. Trying to do clockwise rotation. Once we've got one done, the other one shouldn't be an issue, and all that shouldn't be too much of an issue as well. So what I'm gonna say, the next thing I want to do now is if we go back over to our trusty paint. You know what? I'll download paint on that. Get it on Windows. It probably have to be paid if it's on the store. Yeah, we're gonna say it's usually paid when it's on the store. I'll just download it directly and it'll be all nice and free. Did not want to pause it. Oh, not bad. Delete that. Let's delete this. Yeah, I'm gonna delete them as well. And this extract using the badass 7-zip. No. Yeah, that's fine. I'll whack it in the D drive in software /paint.net and next. Okay, so while that does that in the background, so now what we want to do is, yeah, we're going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared equals, so if we not only print out the angle, if we also should be able to do on a separate line, like something like so. If I was to say underscore, now we need to get the actual values themselves. Is it worth creating a method for this? So joystick angle, if we say, yeah, we'll create a method for this. So I'll go down here and So it's gonna be a static float get joystick. I mean, what would you call a hypotenuse? Yeah, I mean, hypotenuse, assuming we're thinking of it as a triangle, and get joystick distance from center. Is center ER or R? You know, I see different versions, but center versus center. One the UK, one the US. Center is the correct spelling is American English, and British English is RA. I always do ER, to be fair, even though I'm in the UK. Most of the time I do follow UK naming, but usually I do that one. So get joystick distance from center. So what do we need? We are gonna need basically all this. Yeah, that's what we're gonna need. So we're gonna go to create implementation. Implementation is right here. Before we do that, let me grab this, paste that. We don't need this. Get the distance of the joystick from the center / origin. Turns the joystick distance. Need to update that joystick angle. Okay, so now that we've got that done, in here we need to actually get these coordinates. Those are something very crucial. So we basically got to do, we're just returning x coord times by where's the power method? Don't we have CMAF in here? Right, CMAF in here. Hashtag include CMAF. First of all, specify x axis to the power of 2. I mean, that's just too much hassle. That is. I'll just do manually. X coord times by X coord plus basically the same thing, but for the Y coord times by Y coord, and we need to do square root of this. Okay, so we got a comment. I already ordered the audio library, but I can't get sound to work in SFML. Do you get any errors in the console? So anything at all when you're trying to play the audio? That might help if you do. so we need to get a square root. So I can't remember what the method is. Square root C++. SQRT. Okay, so that should be installed by now. It's been ages since I've used Paint.net. I'll put it on Do Not Disturb mode. I feel like this is a bit more advanced than it used to be. Actually, maybe not. Obviously, you know, the fact that you can have layers compared to Paint. Okay, I got that just in case. Okay, so we got this. So we should just be able to have some sort of SQRT. Let's have a look at this then. Let's literally have a look at joystick get joystick distance from center, and we need to basically pass in the same set of IDs as we're doing here. I'm running it. I've got to turn my controller on, but can I really turn on before it runs? Oh yeah. Her Dingen says hello. Hello, Dingens, Mr. Din. Okay, so doing some trig. Actually, we had already done that. Now doing some Pythagoras. Yeah, it comes in the trig. We're doing some Pythagoras now. So this is where, you know, all the people that say, oh, why do you need to use maths? Or, you know, instead of, you know, learning maths, you can just, you know, learn what you need to when you need to. Well, how are you going to know that you need Pythagoras if you don't actually have some basic grasp of it? Reason you should, I need to separate. That's the reason you should, you know, one, study in general. I think a wide variety of topics. That's what I like to try and do. And what I find is you'll find connections. You know, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might be in years to come, but you might be like, ah. Very interesting. So it seems like about 100 or so is the max value, but it does deviate to 115. So that's a 15% deviation. I don't think any of the maxes are below 100. You know, when my stick's all the way over. So that's very interesting. So again, I think that's just faults in the actual stick itself, because if I was to, let's say, go over to splash state and I specify it to be the right stick now, yeah, but that's at different points now. I think that's just potential fault in the stick itself. Yeah. See, I think the max is 100. It's just, I think there's just potential faults in potentially a stick. So that is fine. That's fine. Okay, now we got that. So in the gesture stuff, if we want to detect if it's clockwise, eventually we're going to put it here. for now we're just doing clockwise and not even counterclockwise or anything like that. So I'm going to say if the distance, so actually maybe we can specify that distance. Yeah. There just seems to be, I think it's just if your stick's a bit, you know, let's say almost used a bit much. And 1 second, let me try this. I'll try a similar controller, an Xbox Series X or the Xbox wireless controller as they're calling it. I'll try that. I've hardly used that. I've used this controller a lot and it's 7 years old. So here's the Xbox Series X controller. I'm connecting this up. No, it's still trying to connect, so I need to go into Bluetooth, add a device, Bluetooth. Apparently my Bluetooth ain't connected with my Bluetooth. Bluetooth ain't on. Cannot see it. It's usually there. Bluetooth. Can I actually see Bluetooth? That's Wi-Fi. Yeah, exactly. You know how one stuff out. Yeah, dust. I would say potentially the actual, because obviously the joystick stops when you hit, you know, the plastic. If that's more worn out on one side, let's say if you know, playing a game and you were doing that, that would eventually wear out. And unless there's something physical below the stick that prevents it from going a bit beyond, you know, you'll go a little further. So there's that as well. Potentially even how hard you might even push it. Potentially, we could always cap it at 100. So why am my Bluetooth working? Action center. Yeah, where is my Bluetooth? Don't remember turning my Bluetooth off. See if he works within this section. Yeah, it works in this section. Strange it didn't work in the other section. It has appeared a way for this to successfully complete. Okay, so I'm gonna have to I just want to confirm this. If I go to, I don't know if it's gonna be 0. We'll find out. We'll find out as soon as we get a 1 or a 0 at the top. We get a 1. See, even with this stick, we're getting to about 106, 107, 110, 112. Not as high, but still, you know, still getting there. Potential. Okay, it's interesting. But yeah, even with this, Yes, same sort of principle is applied. There's still some, and this controller is only a few weeks old. I've hardly played the Xbox, and the few times I have, I've used my blue controller. I've hardly used this one, so no way this is worn out enough to deviate that much beyond 100. It's just a manufacturing process as well. So that's not an issue at all. Okay. Gonna put my Xbox Series X controller back. I haven't tested the PlayStation 1 with this get distance from center function, but I guarantee you it'll be something similar. You might even potentially, I know electronics, I know, you might even get one that is actually potentially even less. The max might hit out at 95 for whatever reason. Okay, so let's go back to 1. Go back to the left stick. So we're gonna say if so that's a pretty long line, so I'm gonna put this in a variable. Float distance from center if distance from center is say greater than say 70. And we can tweak this and even make a method where we will make a method for this sort of stuff where you can actually specify the distance from center for the clockwise to get triggered. That's not really an issue. So if it's greater than 70, we're going to store previous angle, and previous angle is going to be 0 by default. And we are going to say and we're also going to have a one for is rotating bool underscore is rotating I'm going to say if it's not rotating, then we're going to say underscore previous angle equals, and we need to actually get the angle now. Well, there's no point, storing extra memory if we don't need to. I'll say true for that. So we do 1 as degrees. If now we're going to say float angle is going to equal to angle. If it is rotating, we're going to say if angle is greater than or equal to underscore previous angle or equal to, yeah, then we're going to say underscore previous angle equals angle. Else, if it's less than it, then something's happened, you know, incorrectly with the rotation. And then we're going to say underscore is rotating equals false. We're going to set that back to false. And the angle no longer matters anymore. We're going to print out here underscore is rotating, and let me separate it out with a colon. Let's get underscore previous angle. Let's run that bad boy and let's see what we get. No errors. I'm positive of it. That did not work at all the way I was hoping. Okay, so it should get into here. We've set it to clockwise. Yes. If the distance from center greater than 70, okay. Then you get the angle. If it's not rotating, the previous angle equals angle, yes. Indigo. What's the question? Kusa Half-Life 1? Okay, so if it's not rotating, which by default it is set to false. Yes. Let's make sure it's even getting in here. So if it's not rotating, then previous angle, and here we're going to say underscore is rotating equals true. Yeah, there we go. Thanks her. Nope, don't want that. I want it to be greater than. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I forgot all about that. If it's equal to 0, we don't think we're going to do anything for that. Because Half-Life 1 sends a nice emoji, thank you very much. Undigo. Bear with me. I will be back in a moment. Sounds Spanish to me, or Portuguese. It's German. It is not. Unless you mean the color, there will be indigo. I'm at work right now. Have a nice stream. Thank you very much, Bank 24 kilohertz. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your workday. It's 2 words. Und. Oh, und. So that'll be and. Diego. And. Oh, drop that sweet. 1 second. I want to wipe that because that's what have made my hair sticky. There we go. That should be wiped. Diego is the name, and Diego, so okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. So you would say something like ich, you know, let's say I'm doing this, and un Diego, you know, ist, you know, doing whatever else. Oh, do you? Never knew that. That's the case. That's interesting. I will eventually get around to learning Spanish. Okay, so let me run this again, see what we got. So why is rotating being set back to true? It's been set back to true because of this. But we want to say only if it's moving, I guess. Why is no, that can't be right. In terms of releasing the engine is technically already available in its current state. So my plan, we'll create a new file for this. We'll go to Project XYZ. If it ever opens. Yeah, how is the stream handling anyway? Am I still uploading anything on Google Drive? No, the Google Drive is closed. You know what, I'll pause any downloads that I've got. Okay, so I'm gonna say, yeah, back in the notes section. So if I go to I change the view up. There we go, notes. Let's whack it over here. So the plan is to release version, say 0.1 when planned release schedule. To release this when to do is completed for the most part complete. When to do is mostly, if not fully, complete. Obviously we may add more to that and do more stuff to it, but we'll get to a point where it's like, yeah, I can't really think of any major new features. We're all good to go. From there, we'll do this version 0.2 will be when we create a simple game in here. So we're gonna say Pong created an engine. Okay, Pong. Version 0.3 will be when we create what's going to be either Asteroid, of a version of Asteroid, or Arkanoid. Let me Google this. Which is easier to code? Arkanoid or Space Invaders? Is it literally just about a if I say Brick Breaker, so you know Arkanoid, I don't need to put that there. We'll whack that on Snake and Tetris on here as well. we'll get version 0. Then we'll do a jump to version 0.5. I think by then I'll be pretty confident if we can make those two using the engine. We'll probably have to upgrade the engine. I do not doubt that one bit. That will be Snake. And whilst I'm doing this, not only will the latest version of the engine be available, I will be live streaming the creation of these games. So not only are you seeing me live stream how to create a game, you don't see much of that sort of stuff out there, especially for existing ones. You're seeing it using the engine that we've created together as a community. And then once I've created Pong, that'll be available open source, and you can use it freely it'll be licensed via the unlicensed, so I waive all rights to it and all responsibility, and you can do whatever you want, and yeah, whatever. If it gets to that level, I'm going to do version 0.7 will be Pac-Man. And then version 0.9 will be Tetris. Boulder Dash, which game is that? Have I ever come across this game before? I've seen a similar game too, but I don't. That Rocks and Diamonds. See, that looks more like it rings a bell. See, I think I've come across games that like it, but I don't think Boulder Dash. Boulder Dash might be one of the OG ones or the original one in terms of that. Version 1. Not just CSGO. It's gonna be CSGO 2.5 in VR, 16K, HDR 15. Yeah, did I search for the wrong one? Yeah. Okay, so this. I think you'll come in with the right one anyway. And version 1.0 will be the game we create. Nope. Tetris will be version. No, that's fine. Version 0.9. Version 1.0 dash alpha. 1.0 alpha will be our own brand new game. Version 1.0 beta will be Hazel, as in the Hazel game engine that the Cherno is making, or are you referencing some other Hazel? Let's say the beta will be our own brand new game. We'll make this a simple arcade style high score game. Okay, that's cool. I'll Google that in a second, because I very much respect what Chernow's doing over there at his channel, the Cherno, really smart guy. Our own brand new game, level based sort of a platformer. Again, this sort of stuff will change, because obviously when we start doing it, we're like, want to create this sort of game. It's like the whole point of the engine, so we know what game that we want to play. Then version 1.0 won't be a game. Refinement after creating all the previous games and learning what works and what doesn't. So that's the schedule. Cause Pong, once the end is at a decent level, assuming we have a decent live stream, like a pretty big chunky one, should be able to bang that out in one go. Brick breaker, again, depends on how complex we're making. If we're just doing a simple brick breaker with a couple of levels, again, 2-3 sessions probably. Snake, never done snake before, so that's what's gonna make it more difficult. I've done Pong, I've done brick breaker several times, never done snake. I've done bits of Pac-Man when I was at uni. Tetris I looked into. Tetris is a bit more complex than I think people realize. You know what? My mate used to always work on this Tetris game when he was at uni. Pretty badass the way he coded it. I'm just gonna just ask him if he does any more work on it. I'm not stupid, I am just really good in finding out what doesn't work. I've heard that before, but did in general before, but has the channel, said that again? I don't get, why you brought that up. Yeah, it's down there, it's a good quote. But still a bit confused. Planned release schedule. Okay, so we was doing this. What I'm a bit confused by. I can't do that. Change it back to regular solution. Run that bad boy. Why does it switch back to 1 again? So only if the angle is less, but the angle shouldn't be less. Forget the angle. If it's not rotating, I'm going to say previous angle equals angle. and we set rotation to true. Then you'll loop back around, do it again. Else, if angle is greater than previous angle, don't say previous angle equals angle now. Okay. Else if angle is less than previous angle, is rotating equals false. Blah blah blah. Yeah, this is just confusing. When it's not working the way I want it to. So it should go back to is rotating equals false. Why is switching back to on again, true again so quick? Now I understand why it actually is. Can't concentrate fully at the moment. I am going to commit epicness of epic proportions and commit this. Then I will continue with this tomorrow. I will try and do an early live stream. I might do it really early tomorrow because I am gonna go and see Wonder Woman tomorrow. That'll be in the afternoon sometime. So by the time I get back and then have some food, blah 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 blah, it's gonna end up being late again. So I might just do it like a UK lunchtime. So I know quite a few of the viewers now will be unfortunately out to look, and you won't be able to see it live because her will, if he wants to, because you'll still be awake, I'd hope, at about midday. And okay, so that's it for today. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. I did an early live stream earlier on, and that was for assembling Lego Star Wars Yoda 75255 model. I'll probably do another one of them as well tomorrow. Really enjoying the Lego stuff. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye and good night.